I sat down with Scott Schober, a cybersecurity expert based in New Jersey, about what companies and consumers need to look out for when using AI. Scott, so we know that with AI, there is a lot of good that can come from it, but there's also a lot of concerns. And it's not just this deep tech concern. It has to do with people like you and me.
Yeah.
Someone can actually convince you that I said and did something that I may not have actually done. Talk about, when we think about deepfakes and this cybersecurity with AI, how that is going to affect the future.
When you look at something like a deep fake and you say, well, I know that person. I see their mannerisms, even the voice, the inflection, those type of little things. Those are little tells that kind of break down if we're questioning something. And once we get over that line, then we believe it. That's when cyber criminals use that to fool us, be it for misinformation, trying to maybe manipulate an opinion this way or that way. Or it could be used just to kind of get us to divulge something, information. Maybe it's personal information about yourself, your family, an account.
Anytime I go to a website, or even when I need information, people will constantly encourage me, go to the website, go online. We encourage you to try online first. And then there's these chatbots. They're giving you assistance online, someone you can chat with. Are those doorways?
When we start having a conversation, you're online, maybe you're buying something or doing research, and you're talking back and forth to a chatbot, it's like you're talking to a person. You ask a question, you get an answer, you get steered this way or that way. What do they often do? They'll pop up a link.
That's right.
Now it's credible. Again, what are you inclined to do? Well, it's not, you're not thinking about, is this a scam? You're inclined to say, hey, they just offered me a savings, a 10% savings if I act now. Let me click on this. So again, it kind of induces you in and fools you. And that's what we all have to be careful about, because just because they're using technology and we have a level of comfort as we're shop online, and many of us use it, and there is good with it. It's not that it's all bad, and we shouldn't use chatbots. We just have to use caution, not be too quick to click. We always hear that, right? And there's reason for it, because oftentimes that's a redirect to a fraudulent site. Whereas if you go into your browser and you enter in the site directly, because you know what that website is, you're less inclined to run into malware or downloads or other type of malicious information that could get on your computer and cause havoc.
What industries are most vulnerable to AI cyber attacks?
All industries are. But what are the most vulnerable? It's really like the financial sector. Think about that. Why? Because the financial sector has a lot of data. Maybe second is probably the healthcare. Again, why? Think about when you go to a doctor or hospital. Our patient records, it's a treasure trove of information personal to you or I that somebody could now take and sell on the dark web, kind of the underground belly of the internet there, and they get top dollar for it, because there's a lot of medical fraud, because they can get social security number, name, address, and all the common things in a data breach, but even more, maybe what procedure you had, maybe what medicines you're on, codes to get approvals for things. That is very rich data that's extremely valuable that they could sell to the highest bidder.
For a long time, Scott, I thought we were ahead of a lot of these scams, but I feel like this is all new territory.
All the best practices and cybersecurity awareness greatly help us. However, what are cyber criminals now doing? They're using advances such as artificial intelligence and machine learning to fool us, to take it to the next level where it seems more convincing to you or I or your listeners, and say, well, it sounds real, it looks real, the logo looks real, the number matches, all the things seem convincing. There's some scams, even some banking scams I've seen in an email, and they'll actually have in there the phone number, and they say, you know, pick it up, 1-800, you call it, and it's the bank that answers, you know, a 1-800 number, an automated thing. So suddenly you sound convinced. You click on the link, and guess what? It still takes you to a fraudulent site. So they could mix it up with voice cloning and different types of scams that they're interacting and mixing up, again, using AI for the power of that to do it very efficiently.
So what is the best way to stay ahead of these scams, to protect businesses?
Well, I think education always comes down to the fundamental thing for and I always say from the janitor to the CEO. It's all of us have to be educated. Yeah, not just long and strong passwords, but actually doing it, you know. Not reusing the same passwords across multiple sites. When you look at statistics, unfortunately, and just look at the past 10 years, more than half of computer users, internet users, are still reusing the password across multiple logins.
Thank you for these tips.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And thank you for joining me.
Yes, thank you.